Hi, everybody. I'm Andy Westley, Director of Whiskey Sales and Education for Foley Family Wines and Spirits, and welcome to our next episode of Two Fingers of Whiskey Knowledge. Today we're going to be talking about Victoriana, which is a very special whiskey from Glen Scotia in Campbelltown. Now, many of you remember Campbelltown is by far the smallest whiskey region in Scotland, and in the late 1890s, in the Victorian era, Campbelltown was literally the center of whiskey production in Scotland. There were 26 distilleries, all making a rich, thick, oily, maritime-style whiskey. By 1934, when Redlocken closed, there were 2 left. And due to that historic, famous Victorian era, Glen Scotia decided to make a whiskey called Victoriana. Now, a few special things about Victoriana. First of all, Victoriana is a non-age statement whiskey, but not a young 4 to 6 year old whiskey like most non-age statement whiskeys are. There's actually whiskey in here that's up to 20 years old, average 8 to 20 years of age. They flash char the barrels before making the final blend, which is always blended to 54.2% ABV. Why? Because in the Victorian era, when you got a barrel all the way to Campbelltown, it literally could have had anything in it before they put whiskey in it. Nails, fish, oil, anything. So they would flash char the barrels to make sure that all of that flavor had dissipated before they put the whiskey in. And finally, you'll notice it's in a green bottle as opposed to a clear bottle, which is usually the case for Glen Scotia, because the color of the bottle literally determined in Victorian times whether it was safe to drink or not, because many people couldn't read. So lots of tropical fruit up front, which is sort of the hallmark of that style at Glen Scotia. And then on the palate, big, rich, textured whiskey with a little touch of char and a beautiful finish, 54.2% ABV, so it really, lasts on the palate and has a huge finish to it. And remember, because of that charring, this is a great whiskey for bourbon drinkers who would like to try Scotch. You're going to recognize that char. Enjoy. Slàinte mhath.